Hi and welcome to the second video in the Hedgehog Hollow 2018 gift guide, and today we're talking all about stocking stuffers. So everything on the table is under the $10 mark. So whether you're a paper crafter yourself, whether you're looking for some new tools for your craft room, whether you're crafting on a budget, or maybe you have a mum, a sister, a friend who's crafty and you're looking for some stocking stuffers, we have something for you. So I've picked out some of my favorite things that I either use all the time or some of my favorite releases from this year, and I've filled my table and we're going to go through this. You want to check out the blog post that's linked in the video description. There'll be links to everything because I just can't fit all of those links in the video description. YouTube limits us to a certain number of characters. Plus we'll have shopping codes and lots of inspiration pictures, and if I've used projects and things, you'll be able to see all of that in the video description below. Plus all of our Inktoberfest videos to do with all the ink pads we're going to talk about will also be linked down below. Now I'm going to start off with cardstock. And I've grabbed some of my cardstocks here. So my favorite colored cardstock to use is either the Lawn Fawn cardstock, which you can get in a rainbow of colors. You can buy them in individual packs, or you can buy them in a rainbow assorted pack. So you can get them like this. I also love all of the tonic cardstocks, which you may have noticed. I have now filled behind me this beautiful, beautiful rainbow of colors. There's everything from handmade papers to textured papers, solid cardstocks, glitter cardstocks, absolutely everything. And I just love being able to just look behind me and think, oh, I want a piece of pink cardstock. I can just pull it out and grab it there. And then in each one, I also cut down a job ticket holder to put all of my scraps in. And then I cut it open on both sides so I can just pop my scraps in there. And it makes it really easy to use. These cubes are by Stamp and Storage. Again, I'm gonna have a video tour coming out over Christmas. We're gonna film everything in my new craft room. I've got a new cabinet and things, so stay tuned for that as well. Now, some other things I have here in larger sheets that just wouldn't fit on the table because there is so much here. So I also picked out the Tonic Craft Perfect adhesive sheets. These are full sheets. These are actually A4, which is the European equivalent of an 8.5 by 11. So will fit on your 8.5 by 11. They're full adhesive sheets. So if you cut die cuts, you can make them fully sticky to add glitter on, or to make them really easy to stick on. So if they're a fine die cut, you can layer them really, really simply with the adhesive sheets. I also picked out some pretty cardstocks. So this is the Lawn Fawn wood grain cardstocks, and you get it in various tones. So I have my scraps in here as well. We have the white, the grey, and the chocolate brown. Really love the textures, and you can rub inks and things into these as well. I picked out the Lawn Fawn Holidays glitter papers, and down the bottom here, it's kind of slightly gone off, but you can see there's a silver, there's a gold, there's a green, there's a red, really pretty colors. They also do a white pixie dust. And then I also picked out this autumn because I love this gunmetal. It's not black, it's not blue, it's kind of in between. And there's also a purple, a copper, a gold, and a brown as well. So they were some of my paper picks, but let's dive into this table. I mean, how much crafty goodness do we have? So let's start on this side here and let's dive in. So here we have the Sizzix glue gun essentials. These are brand new and these are great. So you get in here a silicone mat, and then you get this like little poker tool, and then these here fit on your fingers. So when you're working with a glue gun, rather than getting those burnt fingers, you put these thimbles on that silicone and you can hold whatever you're sticking in place, and it just kind of holds it in there, and then you don't get a burnt finger, but you've got all the precision of using your finger. Then I picked out these Yasutomo watercolors. These are a pearlescent watercolor. They're super inexpensive, but they work great on dark and on white cardstocks. You have a huge amount of colors in here, and again, really, really inexpensive, but work well. I also picked out, later on we're going to have a full set of the pink fresh watercolors. You can buy them individually and they would have fitted in this stocking stuffers. So we'll put them in the links in the blog. But if you store them in these silicone ice trays, and I'm going to lift mine up, they do dry, so you can just reactivate them with water. But what happens is by having the silicone top on there, they never move around. So it's a really great way to store them. And then I can just pop them in the drawer. Super, super easy, and a great storage method. Talking of storage, here I have set up, this is how I have my card bases. If you watch my live videos, you'll see this little guy all the time. In the front here, I have my card front size pieces of cardstock. In the back here, I have my full card bases. It's actually a sauce sachet holder, but it works perfectly. And I have craft color in the back here. You can see there's some brown ones if I kind of tilt that forward. And then I have white towards the front. I also keep a larger acrylic block in here. Some things that I've colored that I haven't yet used. There's some kind of candy dot panels. So if I have things that are pre-colored that I want to use, I stick those in there as well. And for display purposes, we pop the Elizabeth Craft adhesive sheets. Again, really lovely adhesive, die cuts really well. And they fit in your budget. And also this color wheel. Now, I am not great at remembering color theory. I can just about remember what colors I mix for what things. But this is really great because it tells me my triads, it tells me complementary colors, and I can just move it around and work out exactly what I want. And it's double-sided for my brights and my pastels. So this just lives in my watercolor drawer. So again, added that into my gift guide. Now, as I walk around here, I have the new We Are cleanup roller. This is actually my second one of these. I bought this one for Hannah. You can also use one of the IKEA Bastis rollers. Both work absolutely great, but I really just like the prettiness of this, and it folds out really nicely, so it fits perfectly in my craft room as well. And then at the front here, it was really hard to pick out what stencils I wanted to have in my gift guide this year. I decided to go with the Tim Holtz ones because I really liked the shifter stencils he came out with. And I'm going to scroll through. I keep mine on a ring. And I've talked through this ring when we did the Inktoberfest before. But I really love his new shifter stencils. If you haven't seen these already, there's stars and there's stripes, but you can move these backwards and forwards and across, and they create really, really fun patterns. So if you didn't see our Inktoberfest videos, check those out. We'll make sure that playlist is linked for you as well. I picked out embossing powders, and I picked out Wow embossing powders and the Nouveau ones. Again, lots of different options. I love the Wow glow in the dark and their sparkles. Plus I do a great sticky one which you can foil with. I am a convert to archival inks, either in the mini or in the full pad version, since I did Wendy's class in Ranger in New Jersey a couple of months ago. Again, you can check out that video of all the fun things I made there. Also, I really loved playing with my alcohol inks this year, and you'll see there's lots of alcohol inks things that are going to pop up in my gift guide, and so these foil tape sheets are one of them. This is a budget option. I'm also going to show you a really great value option in the second or third part of this video, I should say, the third part of the gift guide. So stay tuned. There's lots of videos in our gift guide this year, and we're splitting them all up by budget because it's one of the things you really liked about last year's video was that we did it by budget. So we had the first video, which was a comparison between the Gemini and the Spellbinders foiling machines. We have this one, which is your stocking stuffers. Then we're going to have one which is sort of the higher budget items and splurges. Then we're also going to have some kind of non-crafty, if you're not a paper crafter but you're looking for some crafty gifts. And then we have some other fun ones as well. So we're going to have a whole series, and we'll have one on stamps and dies separately too. But let's look at what we have in the middle of the table here. So I had to put in press and seal. Everybody always comments how I have really fun printed press and seal. I found this at Target. If you go this time of year, you'll find you get really fun prints on your press and seal because they do it for the holidays. Nouveau Deluxe adhesive absolutely had to be in there. One of the best adhesives. Also the deluxe card adhesives. If you're going to buy a liquid adhesive, buy one of these two. They're absolutely amazing. They dry clear. And there's so many different things you can do with them. Sticky sheets are new from Sizzix. They've completely changed my life. I bought 3 packets for me, 3 packets for Hannah. She takes them home all the time too. And when we get to the Misty in the next video, you'll see why I love these so much. Copics, of course, had to be in there. But also I have included some of the tonic alcohol markers because whilst Copics are great, I do appreciate they are really, really expensive. So the Tonic Nouveau alcohol markers, which will ensure are also linked in that description for you, you get 3 of those really for the price of 1 Copic. And they come in a blending trio. I did do some tonic lives with them. And actually that flower I showed you just now, which I'm going to grab back out again, this flower here, this was colored with those Nouveau alcohol markers. So you really can do so much with them. And because they come in the blending trios, they work really well together. So I would include both depending on what your budget is, and then you can decide what works best for you. Of course, I included the alcohol inks because, as I said, really got back into working with my alcohol inks this year. Hadn't used them for years and years, but really enjoying working with them. More of those wow embossing powders. The new glitter duster from Stampers Anonymous is just so much fun. It's a controlled way to work with glitter. And you might say to me, controlled way to work with glitter. Ha, Alex, hello, hilarious. But all you do is pull up your nozzle and you start squirting and just a little bit of glitter comes out. So it just dusts it very gently. So you can add as little or as much as you want to. And I love working with this. I added this white Nouveau glitter because you can color this with your alcohol ink. So you don't have to just have white glitter. You can take your alcohol ink and you can have any color of glitter you would like. You can just mix a small amount or a large amount. These I've just recently purchased at the Brutus Monroe birthday bash that I went to last weekend, and I absolutely love them. I bought 3, so I have one filled with my Nouveau stamp cleaner, one filled with my isopropyl alcohol, and one filled with water. And these are, if you get your nails done, you'll recognize them. You just kind of push down. This one's locked, this one's locked, this one's not. And you just push down and a little bit comes up on the top. And so then you can just take it off the top and you just have a little bit controlled amount of liquid. So I am in love with working with these, and you can lock or unlock them. So to open this one, I just turn it and now I can squirt, and you want to squirt with the lid on and then you open it up and you take out your liquid. So love working with these, really pleased with those 3 that I've been working with this week. Then I have some foil down the front. Foil is so trendy in so many different ways, whether it's with a foil press, whether it's with your tacky when dry, so many different mediums we can work with. And of course, gift guides wouldn't be complete without our microglaze. Again, use this in our Inktoberfest. Check out the blog post. I'm going to link up videos where you can use all of the products on this table. I've used them all over the course of the year, and you can see videos. Now along the front here, I put a huge selection of ink pads. Now it's really hard to narrow down what ink pads I would choose if I had a limited selection. But this is where I would go if I had to really, really narrow it down. So first of all, black inks. If I had to really kind of narrow my selections down, I would definitely have my Catherine Pooler Midnight. I love that ink. I love Catherine Pooler's inks in general. They have a foam base, so they release the ink really, really nicely. I would definitely have my Gina K Amalgam ink. Love, love, love that ink. It's another hybrid ink, so I can use it with Copics. I can use it with watercolors. Again, review was in the Inktoberfest as well. I would use my Ranger Archival because I can use it on fabric. It's waterproof, it's permanent. I can use it on non-porous surfaces, all of those things. My Extreme Black is great as well because if I use that in my scan and cut, I seem to get a much, much better result with my scanning and my cutting because it's the Extreme Black. So it's a real true black. So love that in my scan and cut. The Hero Arts Ombres, just something a little bit different. Love to see something different on the market. The Ink on 3 Fade Out ink, perfect for no-line watercoloring. No one else does no line at all, so it's really nice to see that Ink on 3 have brought something out. And then I also chose the newscrapbook.com hybrid inks. You'll all know I'm a huge fan of hybrid inks. There are lots of them out there, but I just love how they do the 1, 2, 3, 4 system. So when you're layering, whether it's with something like the Alter New Flowers or other layering stamps, they're already numbered. So you have that 1, 2, 3, 4 system. You don't have to think about shading. You just pick them out and you're like, right, my pinks are ready to go. Bam. I am ready to go. So super simple. So that is what I would narrow my selections down to. For a glue ink on embossing, I chose to go with the Nouveau Clearmark ink. And then, so that would be my ink selection. Then we're going to go over here to plastic blocks, acrylic blocks rather. So acrylic block wise, again, lots of choices on the market. I went with the Catherine Pooler acrylic blocks. I love the ridge she has in them, and I love the grids that are on there. Then we have that red tiny tray in the bottom. You'll have seen me use that in 100 videos this year. Great for glitter, embossing powder, etc. My Nouveau glue pens, again, every tip, just love them, use them all the time for things. This is the chisel tip. This is great for working with those die cuts because if I have a word die cut, I just put this over the end. You can see mine is well loved, but they just stick down perfectly. I also had to put in the expanding mousse. If you haven't seen expanding mousse, it's amazing. I have a fantastic project here that I can show you. And this is a project I recently did for TV All of this texture here is all expanding mousse, and I use the white with the Aqua Shimmer powders from Tonic to create custom colors. Look at the amazing texture that you can get with these expanding mousses. I had so much fun playing with it, and I am definitely not a mixed media artist, but you don't need to be. It does all of that work for you. Yupo paper to use with your alcohol inks. You're going to love working with Yupo paper, something a little bit different. It's an acrylic plastic paper, so it's not going to tear, and it's going to behave very differently to anything you're used to. My Q-tip holder, just something pretty and fun to have on our craft table. Who doesn't want something pretty on their craft table? To hold my Q-tips, it holds my micro tips, all of those kinds of fun things. Then I also wanted to put these in. These are the 3D embossing folders from Sizzix, and you can ink these up and do all sorts of fun things with them, but they give you so much dimension, far more than a regular embossing folder. I don't really have any regular embossing folders anymore. I just use these, so I wanted to include those. Of course, Distress Oxides, because again, something a little bit different, and I love something different. Lindy sprays, I was introduced to these at the show in Salt Lake City. Again, absolutely loved working with them, took Lindy's class, loved Lindy's daughter, so much fun. And these are inside the splat box. Again, a new thing from Tim, love that it folds down, compact. My craft room isn't huge, I know it's bigger than some, but most definitely is not huge, and it does drive Greg nuts that this is a studio and it's my craft room, so anything that can save me on space is definitely a win for me. And in the back here I have these Daniel Smith watercolors, because you can get a huge amount of watercolors here. You get them on a sheet, it's just a dot of watercolor, but this will last you a long time. And you can get a few sheets or you can get lots of sheets, and they're fairly inexpensive. It's a great way to try out colors to see what you like, don't like, what you use lots of. And again, a great way to kind of dip your toe in the water. Another fun tool I picked up here, if you're into Bible journaling, Art Impressions released a new range of Bible journaling supplies. And this here is a cover, so you slip your Bible journal page through it and it protects where your verses and things are, and this then allows you to work on those areas. So it has a slit down the middle here, and then it allows you to protect certain areas of your page. So I wanted to throw that tool in there. I also picked out some fun adhesives. So my Funky Tape Runner, which you'll know I use in every video. My favorite vellum adhesive, which really doesn't show. So much fun. Love having a vellum adhesive that doesn't show. And look at this really cool little bead tray that I have here. I'm going to move around so that I don't put my hand in the way. So this tray, I have some gems in it. You just start tapping and shaking, and it turns all your gems the right way up. So when you're working with gems, isn't that just like the coolest little gadget? I bought one, and then Hannah was like, oh my God, that's so cool. She went to Joann's and she bought one. And we now probably have 4 or 5 between us because we bought them in Joann's. And then for the kind of lighter color ones we found on Amazon, you can get black ones too. And so it just makes it really easy to work with. And it has like a sticky, light sticky bottom so your gems don't go all over the place. So it's just another fun, really handy little tool. Sand erasers, again, are great because they remove sticky residue, they remove boo-boos, all of those things from your cards. Make art blendables, again, a really nice ink to work with. Very different from your Distress inks. Go watch the video that I did on them and that Wendy did for Inktoberfest. Great thing to work with. I'm going to walk back around so I can show you some of these other things. Now, a gift guide would not be complete without our Nouveau Drops, and I'm going to remind you about our Nouveau Drop download that's available on the website that tells you the difference between all of the different Nouveau Drops. So we have crystal drops, jewel drops, glitter accents, glitter drops, glow drops, and vintage drops, and there's a new type of drop coming at Creativation, so you won't want to miss that. I included my Elizabeth Craft microfine glitter because how could I not? I mean, any kind of shimmer, and there's so many fun techniques we can do with this. Our Distress Resist Spray, because not only does it resist, but it also works as an adhesive, because when I made my bottle brush trees like this, which are really fun, you see how that has glitter on it? I sprayed it with some dye ink, and then the glitter, the adhesive for the glitter is actually resist spray. So that is how I made the glitter stick, was by spraying it with resist spray. So there is another tip for you. We have the Nouveau glitter markers in here, which also, not only do they work on white, they also work on black, and they're going to pop on black for you too. We have the tacky when dry, perfect for working with foil, gilding flakes, all of those fun mediums. We have my two favorite masking tapes. So if you're working with watercolor, you're going to work with your frog tape. And if you're working with anything else, you're going to want to work with that purple masking tape. This is not the Thermoweb purple tape. This is just purple masking tape from Amazon. We will link up the one that I use. I have my fun little pin holder down here, and I'll link up these fun pins that I get as well. And also these clips. I hold layers together on my card with these little fun clips. Again, just a little pretty in my craft room, but just a handy tool that you'll find I use all the time. I also use these micro brushes. These are used by dentists, but they're great whether it's applying gems, making my own stickies, all sorts of things. But you can see they have a super, super fine tip. I clean off glitter. I can do all sorts of things with them because they have such a fine tip. And you can get them in big packs, small packs, share them with a crafty friend, all sorts of things you can do with them. But I do recommend having them in your craft room. Then we have the new Craft Perfect twine. Comes in so many different colors. Love, love working with these. And don't be fooled. You can spray it into any color you want it to be. You can apply mousses to it. You can apply your aqua shimmers to it. That canvas I just showed you, on the back here, it has bright pink twine. On the front, it has gold twine. So that twine does not have to stay the color that you put it on. You can alter twine into any color. So love working with those twines. What else have we missed? Oh, my entire pot of fun things that I put here for you that I wanted to show you. So this is the final thing on my table. So first of all, I love this pot. But I have these really fun things. So Plaid sent me their new Law DIY brushes. But look at these handles. They're like unicorn handles. It's so cool. So I had to put those in my gift guide. I also happened to pick up myself in Joann's. They had these Law DIY wire cutters that have a unicorn handle. So of course I had to have those too. So I replaced my red ones with these and they work just as well. They're just pretty. That's all it is. They're just pretty. Also, I had to include my craft spoon. If you watch any of the Tonic Lives, whoops, and I work with glitter, then you'll know that I use this craft spoon all the time. What else do I have in here? I have my Midas touch. So anything I do, whether I work with Copics, watercolors, anything, I put my Midas touch over the top to add some extra shimmer. My Surface Sweep for clear up, for buffing glitter, for getting rid of excess gilding flakes, all of those fun things. Plus, if you're a 3-year-old, it's really fun to play with. Then I have my Tim Holtz craft pick and my craft knife because they're just the must-have tools that you'll always see me use. My thin, smooth precision glue pen. And my final two must-haves are these are called Sew Easy Tweezers. And I use these all the time. I have them everywhere in the house. I adore them. They have a really nice fine point on for working with gems. I use them for working with die cuts. I will use them for absolutely everything. And then the Teflon bone folder, I actually did a video the other day and I said, I'm a convert. I thought they were a rip-off, you didn't need one, but you absolutely do need one. You don't get creases. If you're working with these beautiful foil cardstocks, glitter cardstocks, you don't get any creases and cracks in them. And I found on Amazon, you can get them really inexpensively, and we'll make sure there are links in that description for you. So that is a whirlwind tour of my stocking stuffers for 2018. I hope you have enjoyed seeing what's on the table. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. There are plenty more tools in my craft room. I really kind of had to be selective to my favorite things. As I say, any questions, leave them in the comments. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Do check out the blog post. We will try to link up and give you as many photos and things as we can as well. And so check that out. And you never know, there may be some shopping coupon codes there for you as well. And we will see you again very soon. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell to see the rest of the gift guide and lots of Creativation coverage because we are the official media partner of Creativation and we're super excited and can't wait to bring you all of that coverage. So we'll see you again very soon. Happy stamping. Bye.